ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामो राम रामो हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you all for our concluding session of Purushottam Yoga, the 15th chapter that we have been discussing for the last 3 weeks. So today is the concluding section. We have 5 verses to discuss, the last 5 verses. So before we discuss that, like we have been doing for the last 3 weeks, we will recite the entire 15th chapter. So you all can recite along with me. श्री भगवान उवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलम् अधशाकम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययं छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्। अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखा गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवाला अधश्चमूलानि अनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके। नारूपमस्य ततोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठिता। अश्वत्थमेनोर्सुविरोधमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा। ततः पदं तत् परिगामितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूय। तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्ति परिशिष्टा पुराणी। निर्माणमोह चित्तसङ्गदोष अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसंज्ञैर्गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदम् अव्ययं तत्। न तद्भास्यते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम। ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः मनसस्तानि इन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति। शरीरं यद् अवाप्नोति यच्चापि उत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयत्। श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणम् एव च अधिष्ठायां मनुष्ठायां विषयानुपसेवते। उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषा। यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्ति आत्मनि एव स्थितं यतन्तोऽपि अकृत्मानो नैनं पश्यन्ति अचेतसा। यद् आदित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भास्यते किलं यच्चन्द्रांसि यच्चाग्नो तत्तेजो विधिमामकम्। गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयामि अमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधि सर्व सोमभूत्वा रसात्मका। अहं वै वाश्वनरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रिता प्राणापानसमायुक्ता पचामि अन्नं चतुर्विधं। सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च। वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम्। त्वामिमो पुरुषो लोके शरश्चाक्षर एव च शर सर्वाणि भूतानि कुतस्थो अक्षर उच्यते उत्तम पुरुषस्त्वन्य परमात्मेति उदारत यो लोकोत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्ति अव्यय ईश्वर यस्माक्षरम् अतीतोऽयम् अक्षरादपि चोत्तम अतोऽस्मि लोकभेदे च प्रतीत पुरुषोत्तम यो माम् एवम् असमूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदम् उक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्धा बुद्धिमां स्यात् कृतकृतश्च भारत. Hare Krishna. So before we discuss the last concluding 5 verses, we will just recap the previous verses. This is section where Krishna is speaking about he being the maintainer. So this is verse 12 to 15, where Krishna is explaining his position as the maintainer. How Krishna, in order for us to develop that love for Krishna, and in order for us that we make that journey from this material world, which we saw is like a hotel, to our original home, the spiritual world, which is our actual home, we need to develop love for Krishna. We need to get inspired. Why should we take this journey of doing bhakti to Krishna? So in this set of verses 12 to 15, Krishna explains that even though we have come in this material world, leaving him, still Krishna is taking care of us in every way. So Krishna is the splendor of the sun and the moon. He's keeping all the orbits, all the planets in orbits. He's making the vegetables succulent. He's the fire of digestion. And as a Paramatma, in everyone's heart, he's giving remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness at the right time. And finally, Krishna's 15th verse says that he is not only taking care of our body and mind, but he's also taking care of the soul by giving us the Vedantas or the scriptures. So, yeah. So basically, we saw that how Krishna is maintaining us in the form of the sun, the moon, electricity, fire. Krishna says all this is his energy. So then Krishna says not only that, what to speak about the planets outside, the sun, the moon, even in our own system, in our own body, the digestion fire, Krishna says is me. So whatever we eat, it's able to digest because of the mercy of Krishna. And that fire is actually Krishna's grace. And then in the 15th verse, Krishna says that as the Paramatma in our heart, Krishna gives us knowledge, matta, smritir, jnanam, apohanam cha. He gives us remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And then Krishna also compiles the Vedas. So basically that set of verses 12 to 15, Krishna is telling all of us that how in a day-to-day life also we can actually see Krishna. One time someone asked Srila Prabhupada, someone reported asked Srila Prabhupada, did you see Krishna? Have you seen God? Prabhupada said, there has not been one moment in my life where I have not seen God. I see God everywhere. So why? So the taste of water is Krishna, the sun, the moon, the energy is coming from Krishna. So if you look around in this world, there are enough reasons where we get inspired to do bhakti to Krishna, to surrender to Krishna. So with having said that, we come to the last section. Yeah, so this is section D, verses 16 to 20. So these are the last set of 5 verses. These set of 5 verses appears to be a little technical, but then these are very important verses. So in these verses, you will find the word Purushottama. Krishna is calling himself as the supreme person again and again. That's why this 15th chapter is called Purushottam Yoga, yoga of the supreme person. So these 5 verses, the first verse, verse number 16, speaks about 2 types of living entities, one fallible, one infallible. We'll be seeing that. Text 17 speaks about how beyond these 2 types of living beings is Krishna, and Krishna is also a person. Living beings also a person, conditioned, liberated, and beyond that is Krishna. And who is Krishna? He is the supreme person, Purushottama. So he's a person. It's not that he doesn't have any form. He does have a form, but then his form is not like our form. His form is Purushottama, the best of all forms, transcendental supreme form. So Krishna is saying he is the supreme and he is the one who is maintaining the both the living entities. And then in text 18, Krishna says that that's why in the both the worlds and in the Vedas he is celebrated as that supreme person, that Paramatma, that super soul or the Purushottama. And then Krishna says in text 90, whoever knows this position of Krishna, whoever understands the philosophy of Gita well, and who understands that Krishna is not an ordinary person, he is the supreme person. Such a person engages in devotional service and he practically knows everything. All knowledge is revealed to him. Knowing, and then finally in the last verse he says, knowing this most confidential part of knowledge makes one wise and brings perfection to one's endeavor. So 16, 17, 18 is also called Tri Shloki Gita. There is a Chatushloki Gita, 4 Shlok Gita in the 10th chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10th chapter, 8th verse, 9th verse, 10th verse and the 11th verse. But this set of verses, 16, 17, 18 is called the Tri Shloki Gita. So in text 16, we will read text 16. You all can chant along with me. Dvamimo purusho loke sharaschakshara evacha shara sarvani bhutani kutasto akshara uchyate. So Krishna is saying here that there are 2 classes of living beings, the fallible, the imperfect, and the infallible perfect. So there are 2 kinds, the fallible or the conditioned souls, those who are imperfect, and the liberated souls who are in the spiritual world, the infallible, the perfect souls. In the material world, every living being is fallible, imperfect. So we are all in the material world, all of us are imperfect living entities, and all of us are conditioned, Baddha Atma. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible or perfect. So that is the difference. So what is so Krishna is saying basically, in the spiritual world, everyone is liberated souls, completely free. And in the material world, all of us are bound. Both are parts and parcels of Krishna, but the difference is there. Just like someone is in a jail, he's also a person, and someone who's free, he's also a person. But the difference is someone is bound and someone is free. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the difference between both. He explains that the fallible living entities are the ones who are struggling in this world, the 5 senses, the mind. Right from a small ant to Brahma, everyone is changing bodies and everyone is struggling. But the infallible living entities, they are one with God. One with God means they don't lose their form, but their vision is one with God. They use themselves completely in cooperation with the Lord. Just like if you remember, we in our Journey of Self-Discovery course, if you have attended it, we explained the story of a prodigal son, where there's this landlord with 2 children. One child is obedient to the father and the one is disobedient to the father. One is rebels against the father. So all the souls in this world, all the living entities in this world are all rebelled against God. But all the living entities in the spiritual world, they are all serving the interest of God. They are one with the Lord in the sense that their interest is the same as the interest of God. So this is what Krishna explains in text 16. So we will see text 17. Krishna says, Uttama Purushvasta Anya Paramatmeti Udarata Yo Loko Trayam Avishya Bibarti Avyaya Ishvara. Besides these two means besides the conditioned living entities and the liberated living entities, there is the greatest living personality, the supreme soul, the imperishable Lord himself, who has entered the 3 worlds and is maintaining them. So the supreme soul, Krishna, he is the master of all living entities. He is the master of the living entities in this world and in the spiritual world. He is the supreme master. He is the greatest personality. He is living as the super soul in our hearts. He is the greatest personality. But still Krishna enters this universe. Just like you can see in this picture, Krishna is beyond this world, but he enters into this universe just so that he can compassionately maintain all of us. Because Krishna knows that even though we are rebelled against him, finally we are all his children. Krishna still loves us. So even though we are rebelled against him, Krishna comes in this universe and uh, expands himself in so many energies. Like already Krishna mentioned, in the form of the sun, the moon, practically everything is arranged so well just for so that we can try to be happy in this world. So someone who says that why did Krishna make this world a place of suffering? Yeah, there is suffering, but see the amount of facilities in this world. How much God has gone to what extent to give us satisfaction and make our experience in this world beautiful. So we should be all, by understanding all this, our love towards Krishna will increase more and more. That's why Srila Prabhupada quotes here that who is a wise man and who can obtain perfect peace? One who understands the Supreme Person of Godhead as the Supreme Personality who is present in everyone's heart as Paramatma and maintaining everyone. So the wisest one, so Krishna is saying here, is one who understands that this world is working so perfectly. The sun, the moon, everything is there so perfectly because the Lord is very merciful to me and he is practically maintaining me. So when we understand this, our journey towards the spiritual world, our journey in the path of bhakti can begin with more conviction. So we'll read text 18. Yes, yasmacharam atitoyam aksharaadapi chottama atosmi lokavedecha pratita purushottama. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. So pratita purushottama. So Krishna is saying that I am celebrated in this world and even in the Vedic scriptures as that greatest person. Why? Because Krishna is beyond both the fallible and the infallible living entities, and he's the greatest person. So something important here is the first thing is that how Krishna is a person, but Krishna is a supreme person with great love for all of us. So that's what Krishna is stressing in these verses again and again. So Srila Prabhupada explains that living entity, what is the difference between the living entity and the Lord? Both are individuals. We are also individual. We also have a form. The Lord also has a form. But what is the difference? The difference is that the living entity, whether he is a liberated soul or a conditioned soul, he is dependent on the Lord. The Lord is independent. He is the one who provides. Like the Vedics, there is a mantra in the Upanishad which says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Jo Vidadati Kamam. So it says that there is, Lord also is the supreme, is a person. We are also person. But the difference is that the Lord, that one person, maintains many, many living entities. So that is the difference. So the Mayavadis, they may say that we are one with God, but we are not one with God. We may be one with God in terms of quality, but in terms of quantity, there is a vast difference. Yeah. So we'll read text 19. I think someone has to mute yourself. Yeah. Yomam evam asamudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Whoever knows me as the supreme personality of Godhead without doubting, he is a knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. So Krishna is saying that one who knows him as the supreme person of Godhead, Yoma evam asamudo. Asamuda means without a doubt. So by understanding the 15th chapter well, or by understanding Gita in general well, we will all come to a conviction. We will understand that Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is not like a living entity like all of us. He may appear like an ordinary person, but he is not an ordinary human being. Who is he? He is the supreme person of Godhead. So Krishna is saying anyone who knows him as the supreme person of Godhead without doubt, what is the result? The first result is that he will know everything. He knows, Krishna will reveal everything to him. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Krishna tells in the 10th chapter of Gita, Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So Krishna says that anyone who does bhakti to Krishna, satata yuktana, with great devotion and constantly, such a person, Krishna reveals all knowledge to him. So the first result of knowing Krishna, the supreme person of Godhead, is that we will know everything. And second, we will engage in full devotional service. How can you surrender your life to someone? You can surrender your life to someone, or you are ready to serve someone only when you know more about that person. When you understand how great a person is, you will naturally want to serve. There was one time, there was a man who was in a village, and in this village he observed that he thought the panchayat, the sarpanch, is the head of the village. But soon he realized that beyond the sarpanch, the sarpanch was reporting to the district collector. So he understood that the collector is greater. And then he saw the collector was reporting to a minister. So then he understood the minister is greater. And then he saw that the minister is reporting to the king. And then he understood the king is greater. So similarly, we are all in search for someone to serve. We are looking for that perfect person. So Krishna is saying, in our so many lifetimes, we have tried to serve so many people. But Krishna is saying, try this one method. Try to serve me. Try to engage in full devotional service, and then you will achieve perfection. So it is for our own benefit that Krishna is saying this. It's not that Krishna has ego, but it's more out of compassion. Just like in the 7th verse of this 15th chapter, Krishna is saying, even though we are all part and parcel of him, we are supposed to be in the spiritual world as one of the liberated souls serving Krishna. We have come in this material world to enjoy, but what we are going through is all suffering. So therefore, Krishna is speaking the Gita, and especially the 15th chapter, and Krishna is encouraging all of us that please know me as the supreme person of Godhead and don't doubt. Leave aside all your doubt. With faith, worship me, and then I will bless you and I will reveal everything to you. So Srila Prabhupada discusses in this purport that many people say that the living entity and God are one. We are all the same. But people's understanding is that once we are liberated, we also become God. But that's not the understanding. One who understands Krishna as it is, like Krishna is saying here, one who knows me as the supreme person of Godhead. That means Krishna is always a supreme person. And who are we? We are always eternally the servants of Krishna. Jivera Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. Nitya Das means we are eternally servant of Krishna. We can never become God. One who knows this perfectly, he engages in Krishna consciousness without any speculation. He doesn't waste his time in speculating so many things. He knows Krishna is a supreme person and then he engages. One time Srila Prabhupada, he was meeting few people and they were like very big Vedanta scholars. They came to meet Srila Prabhupada, great Gyanis of Vedas. So Srila Prabhupada asked them, all of you all know Vedas so much. Tell me, what is the essence of Vedas? Who is God? These people started to explain that God is a very difficult concept. We can't explain it in words, and they were trying to beat around the bush. That time, there was one little girl of one of Prabhupada's couples, probably 3-4 years girl, Saraswati. So Srila Prabhupada called this girl and asked her, Saraswati, who is God? And Saraswati said, Krishna is God. And then Prabhupada gave her a cookie. And Prabhupada told these scholars that this girl knows much more than all of you all. Why? Because she knows that Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. So such a person who understands Gita, especially 15th chapter, knows very well that Krishna is not an ordinary person. He is Purushottama. He is the supreme person of Godhead. And this is the essence of all knowledge. So one who knows this, he doesn't waste his time in speculating and studying so many different things and trying to find out the essence. He just knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he directly surrenders to Krishna. It saves so much time, isn't it? Otherwise, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam mam prapadyate. After thousands of lifetimes, one jnani will come to the understanding that Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. That Krishna, Vasudeva is everything and he is the Supreme Person of Godhead. So this verse appears to be very simple. The 15th chapter appears to be very simple. But then if you understand this well, and like Krishna is saying here, if we have faith in Krishna, we don't doubt Krishna, then 100% we will achieve perfection. It will save so much time for all of us. So in one sense, we don't have to do too much research. The research is already done. We just need to accept it. Just like, if you have a jackfruit, to cut a jackfruit is very difficult. But just imagine if someone has cut the jackfruit, removed the fruits, removed the seeds and gives you have to just put it in your mouth and eat it. That's all. So we don't have to speculate so much who is God. God himself is speaking that I am God. Don't doubt me, surrender to me. So it saves so much time, especially in Kali Yuga where we are really short of time. We really don't know what's going to happen next. Padam padam vyad vipadam na tesham. There is danger at every step. So the essence is bhajati. We can all worship Krishna with great love. Sarva bhavena bharata. And then finally, text 20. Iti guhya tamam shastram idam muktam maya naga etad buddhva buddhimam syat krita kritascha bharata. This is the most confidential part of Vedic scriptures. O sinless one, and it is now disclosed by me. Whoever understands this will become wise and his endeavors will know perfection. So Krishna is saying what we have discussed here in this 15th chapter is the most confidential part. Iti guhyatamam. Guhyatamam means most confidential. There is confidential, there is more confidential, and then there is most confidential. So Krishna is saying that what I have spoken here is the most confidential knowledge. This is the essence of all Vedas. So to study the Vedas is very difficult. So Krishna is in very simple words is given the essence. What is the essence? The essence is Krishna is the Supreme Lord and we need to surrender unto him. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. That is the essence. And what will be the result of understanding this? One who understands this essence will become wise, will become intelligent, and all his endeavors will achieve perfection. Whatever he endeavors will be perfect. And what is the qualification to understand this 15th chapter? Krishna says, Idam uktam maya naga. Oh Arjuna, I am telling you because you are sinless. So we all may not be free from sins, but the path of bhakti is so great that even though we are not freed from sins, if we practice this path, we will gradually become free from all sins. So how to understand this knowledge? Understand it as it is given by the Supreme Person of Godhead. Don't concoct, don't speculate. Krishna is explaining very clearly that he is the Supreme Lord, he is Purushottama, and Krishna is saying just surrender unto me without doubting. So we need to understand this knowledge as it is without doubting. And what is the result? We will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. The first result. Second, we'll be freed from all contamination of the material modes. And the third, devotional service and the Lord are one. And same because they are spiritual. Devotional service takes place with the internal energy of the Lord. So we'll become intelligent, we'll achieve knowledge, we'll be free from all sins. And most importantly, by understanding this knowledge, we will get the impetus, we will get that inspiration, that motivation to do bhakti to Krishna. So how one should apply this knowledge, how one should apply the 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga in life? Everyone must take to Krishna consciousness and devotional service, become intelligent, purified. Intelligence, however high in material estimation, without this understanding of Krishna consciousness, is not the perfect intelligence. So how one should apply whatever knowledge we have got here? In essence, practice the process of Krishna consciousness. Practice the process of Bhakti Yoga. We discussed this ABCD, association, books, chanting, diet. Use this, naturally, whatever we need in life will come to us. Without this, however intelligent we may be materially, is no use. So what is real intelligence? Real intelligence is to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. I am a living entity, part and parcel of Krishna, and my duty is to serve Krishna. Anyone who understands this is actually intelligent. I will end with one story. One time, this is a story that Srila Prabhupada tells himself. One time there was a very learned man who had gone to the West, became very educated, and he came back to his village. So when he came back to his village, he had to cross a river to go to his hometown, to go to his house. So while he was on the river, he looked at this boatman who was like an illiterate villager. And he asked the boatman, I've come from the West. I'm a very great scholar, I have PhD, double PhD. He turned to the boatman and asked him, do you know anything about astronomy, all the stars and everything? This boatman said, I'm an illiterate guy. Sorry, sir, I don't know anything. So this fellow said, you don't know anything about astronomy, your 25% life is waste. And the boat was going ahead. So this fellow started to boast again that, do you know anything about politics? What's going on? There is election in America now, whether Trump is going to win or not, what's happening. Do you know? Are you updated about politics? Arnab Goswami and Narendra Modi and all this. He said, sorry, sir, I really don't know. I'm completely disconnected from the world. So this fellow said, your 50% life is waste. You don't know about politics. So then after some time, he asked him, do you know cricket? IPL, Chennai Super King, whatever, Mumbai, whatever. I don't know those names. So he asked them that, do you know about cricket, IPL, Dhoni and Virat Kohli and all these guys? He said, sorry, sir, I don't know much. He said, 75% of your life is waste. You don't have any general knowledge. You should be updated about all these things. And suddenly there was storm and the boat started to topple, heavy rains. The boatman turned to this guy, very intelligent guy, and asked him, sir, do you know swimming? This guy said, I don't know swimming. The boatman said, then your 100% life is waste. And he jumped into the river and the boatman swam across and this fellow drowned. So Prabhupada explained the story to tell that we may be very intelligent. We may know about politics. We may know about everything. We may be updated practically. We may know how to operate Zoom and Google Meet and so many things we may know. But if you don't know Krishna, if you don't know Bhakti to Krishna, then 100% life is waste. So the summary of Purushottam Yoga is to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and Krishna mercifully comes in this world. He arranges so many things for us in this world to inspire all of us. And by knowing this, by studying Krishna's love for all of us, how Krishna is taking so many steps so that we can all come to him, we will develop that love, that inspiration, and we will take this journey of this path of bhakti and surrender to Krishna. And if you do this, we will all make this transition from this material world, which is like a hotel, to our original home, the spiritual world. So this is the ultimate journey, the journey home, back to the spiritual world. So that's all that Krishna explains in the 15th chapter, Purushottam Yoga. So I'm very grateful to all of you all that all of you all with great sincerity for 4 weeks you all have come. So that itself is very great, and I'm sure Krishna has noted this, and Krishna will bless all of you all. Any endeavor in the path of bhakti, however small, we may not remember it, but Krishna definitely makes note of everything, and Krishna will give back in many fold in return. If we take one step towards Krishna, Krishna will take hundreds and thousands of steps towards us, and Krishna's steps are much more bigger than ours. So I'm very grateful to all of you all for your sincerity. I hope this discussion of 15th chapter was meaningful to you all. And I hope that all of you all will take this inspiration and keep speeding up your process of bhakti. Keep putting on higher gears in the process of bhakti so that all of us can make this wonderful journey back to the spiritual world. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.